It honestly looked like a scene from a movie. One car crashing into another non-stop. The snow, the cold, and speeding drivers created an absolute mess on the roads this morning. This morning, things are slowly getting back to normal.
We got multiple cars. We got solid ice inbound at North Avenue. They're steady coming. They're steady coming. We got multiple cars. It's going to get really bad here. North inbound. Oh, snap!
And it did get really bad. Around 5 a.m., a 54-car pileup on the inbound side of the Kennedy at North Avenue. Several vehicles were totaled, all lanes shut down. The snow, mixed with falling temperatures, created a sheet of ice on the roads, and drivers had no idea. Patrick Balson works for a company making ventilators. Considered an essential worker, he was on his way to work in Cicero.
I just came over the bridge there, and there was just a pileup and nothing to do, nothing you could do. It was icy, it was snowing, and it was just a sudden stop. I was trying to be careful, but there's just nothing you could do.
His car totaled. Many drivers reported untreated roads this morning, and not just on the Kennedy. There was a multi-car crash on the inbound Stevenson at Damon earlier, shutting down all lanes there. There was a crash on the Edens near Wilmette. Fire crews were slammed with crash calls all across the area. In the snow and cold, emergency crews have to continue to work under this pandemic. Crash victims were out of their cars on the Kennedy, walking around at the scene, making things all the more challenging.
We're asking everybody, first and foremost at this time, is social distancing, obviously, is our main concern. But we have other jobs to do as well, as far as fires, accidents, and other things that we respond to every day. So besides the pandemic that's going on, we're still dealing with everyday incidents, and this is one of them.
In all, on that one Kennedy crash, 54 vehicles involved. There was another crash further down involving 9 vehicles. The Kennedy, by the way, is now all reopened. That's the good news. 14 people, though, had to be transported to area hospitals. They're all going to be okay.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.
Right now at 11, the aftermath of an unbelievable crash on the Kennedy Expressway, leading to a 54-car pileup, and the timing was pretty bad.
Besides the pandemic that's going on, we're still dealing with everyday incidents, and this is one of them.
Just look at it from above. More than 50 vehicles collide in a chain reaction mishap that injures more than a dozen people.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Erin Kennedy, live at home.
I'm Ryan Baker, back in the CBS 2 studio. Thanks for staying home, especially you, Erin, but you're working from home and staying safe.
Yeah, Ryan, thank you. Let's get you back to today's big story. Now, we begin with that big cleanup after that crash left a massive mess on the roads earlier this morning. It all happened around 5 o'clock. There were fewer cars out than usual, but the weather and, of course, the speed sure made up for that. CBS 2's Eric Cox is live on the Kennedy this morning, where traffic is finally flowing again. Eric.
Yeah, good morning, Aaron. That's right. All lanes of the inbound Kennedy Expressway back open this morning after an hours-long shutdown and cleanup process.
Oh, my God!
Cell phone video captures cars crashing one after another on the Kennedy Expressway at North Avenue around 5 Wednesday morning. Horns honking, drivers frantically trying to veer their vehicles out of the way. A dozen ambulances called out to respond. Nearly 60 people examined for injuries. 14 were taken to area hospitals as rescuers worked to save them, many wearing masks to protect themselves during the pandemic.
It's a lot of challenges at once. It really is. Social distancing, obviously, is our main concern, but we have other jobs to do as well.
Drone 2 hovering above the accident scene, giving an overhead glimpse at the aftermath of the crash and a bird's eye view at the tremendous backup it caused on the interstate. Drivers sitting idle behind the wheel as far as the eye can see. Overnight snow and icy conditions are considered the main causes behind these multiple collisions, but rescue crews say speed also played a part.
It did cause an effect where vehicles couldn't stop behind them because of the high speeds that they were traveling.
And Chicago Fire Department says that all 14 of the people taken to area hospitals are adults, and they believe that with none of them facing serious injuries, each and every single one of them should be okay. We're live along the Kennedy this morning. Eric Cox, CBS 2 News.
Not a lot of cars on the road, but enough for some major crashes, right?
I mean, serious issues out there, Ryan. We actually just got an update to what's going on in the Kennedy. Now, when you think of a multi-car pileup, or, I mean, even see one in a movie, that's exactly what it looks like out there. We just got brand new video into our newsroom. You can see multiple vehicles involved, facing all sorts of directions, semis, cars, SUVs. Again, tons of vehicles, hearing upwards of 15, 20 vehicles involved in this. So it's on the Kennedy. Obviously, it is going to be a huge issue this morning. So I want to show you what the area looks like on the map as well. So obviously, you don't want to get on the Kennedy. We are seeing tons of slowdowns because of this. So the crash itself on the inbound Kennedy, right near Paulina, right near North. Obviously, it's going to have to cover a huge area because we do have so many vehicles involved. You can see all the icons out there, and I have to zoom way out up and down the Kennedy. We've got crashes, issues out there. And then I'm going to add the radar on the map. Megan, I know you have more on this, but obviously it looks like really we're seeing a lot of heavy rain, snow, slick conditions out there having a huge impact already this morning.
Oh, yeah, it's all snow. And in fact, we are just getting live images in right now into the station from that accident on the Kennedy that you were just talking about.
Indeed, Yasmin. We continue to follow that breaking news on the Kennedy that Yasmin was just updating us on. A massive crash involving an estimated 50 vehicles. Several emergency response crews are on the scene. Joining us now this morning on the phone is Maria Castaneda with the Illinois Department of Transportation. Maria, thanks so much for taking the time. There aren't as many cars on the road under the stay-at-home order that we're experiencing. Do you think that contributed to drivers not heeding the warnings to slow down despite the slick conditions with the snow?
Yes, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Yes, I do think that people currently were and are driving way too fast for conditions. I think that obviously when you're looking out there, the conditions, although the snow is coming down, the roadways look wet, but then those roadways are very slick. And what happened is we got caught in this heavy band of snow that basically made the conditions very slick, very icy, very quickly. And that combined with drivers driving much faster at this time because they don't have the numbers of people out there has caused them to obviously not be able to slow down in the amount of time that they have. So one of the main things that we are reminding people that even though there's a lot of traffic on the roadway, that you need to drive much slower, especially with these conditions. With these late spring snows, people already are shifting into the summer gear. And so, getting back into the winter driving, just to please slow down and slow down for conditions, especially on bridges and exits where the roadway can become very quickly very slick.
Our viewers right now are seeing the significant and major damage on the Kennedy this morning, right near Paulina. Again, 50 cars piled up. To see a truck there that's involved. Yasmin was telling us that up to 14 people were taken to the hospital, over 30 being treated at the scene. How long do you expect the Kennedy to be shut down to all traffic this morning as they clean up this mess?
Well, what I was just told, and again, keep in mind, things can change, obviously, but as of right now, we're being told that most likely it'll be close to 2 hours. Right now, we have it inbound closed right there, redirecting traffic right around Armitage Avenue. So motorists can expect around a timeline of 2 hours as of now, but again, that can change.
Well, it's a good day and a good morning to stay at home to avoid all of this mess and a major accident and car crash, 50-car pileup on the Kennedy. Maria Castaneda with IDOT, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Sarah. So yeah, I'm standing on the Kennedy Expressway right here at North Avenue right now. I want to show you it's a complete mess. We've been talking to Chicago firefighters. They tell us a total of almost 70 cars involved in this accident. And right now we have cars sitting here on the expressway at North Avenue. Clearly they're damaged. And then we also have a lot of damaged cars sitting on North Avenue right around the expressway waiting to be towed away. Chicago firefighters telling us that this all resulted in a crash that happened here in the eastbound lanes, the inbound lanes of the Kennedy Expressway right at North Avenue around 5 o'clock this morning. They said it was a multitude of factors that caused this chain reaction crash, and that's just because we had all the snow and ice come in suddenly, and then they say cars have been flying. They do believe that speed was a factor in these crashes. So we had a number of transports as well, 54 cars involved in this particular incident, 14 transports, 32 people either refusing or being treated here at the scene. And then firefighters tell us there was a second accident at California in the Kennedy Expressway. They had 9 vehicles involved in that particular accident, 14 refusals, and we are being told that all the people that were transported to the hospital were either in yellow or green condition, which means they are okay. They're expected to be okay, no major injuries. But that's how we get nearly 70 vehicles involved in this chain reaction crash, 2 different crashes here on the Kennedy Expressway early this morning. Of course, we have the crashes themselves, but also what firefighters are worried about right now is this pandemic. They're also worried about social distancing. They're trying to keep the people involved in these accidents away from each other, and also all the tow trucks that are lined up here on North Avenue trying to make sure that they get the individuals who are involved in the crashes towed away because they're towing away the non-drivable vehicles. So a lot to worry about this morning here when it comes to the Chicago Fire Department and those individuals involved. Nearly 70 cars involved. 2 different crashes here on the inbound Kennedy Expressway lanes. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.